Jane saw her husband, Seth, walk across the restaurant's foyer. She sat at a table all the way across the restaurant. He had his back to her, but she was sure it was him. The self-conscious hunch in his shoulders from always being the tall one in the room. The too casual, mismatched clothes because he did not believe appearances mattered. The stiff wariness of his body, alert for movement coming at him from any direction, a holdover from his army days, and also his current occupation as leader of the Vanguard, a grassroots organization that puts celebrities on trial for sins against family values. As the hostess guided her husband into the restaurant, Jane twisted the silky cloth napkin in her lap. In a few moments, he would see her, would come tell her date she belonged with him, in the world of mismatched clothes and higher callings. She had lost track of the conversation at her table. Beneath the table, she moved her feet to one side of her chair, prepared to spring up and run. Seth looked right at her as he took his seat. It wasn't him. Because he has no reason to be here, thought Jane. He doesn't know where I am. Everything all right? Asked her date. Jane turned her attention to the man across from her. Online, he was the perfect man for the woman she hoped to become. 3 of their 4 interest areas, travel, food, and the arts, had been perfect matches. The outlier had been fly fishing. Jane didn't have any interest in fly fishing, but if it was something he really cared about, she could learn. She was willing to learn about anything. Her perfect man poured the wine and studied her over the tops of his horn-rimmed glasses. Sophistication oozed from his fingertips. Jane imagined how he might transform her into a chic column of a woman, magically taller and slimmer, without bowling balls for breasts, who went to gallery openings and opera galas. A woman who could hold a conversation with his co-workers in the art world and knowingly critique auctions at Tiffany's. You don't look anything like your profile picture, he said, not quite joking. Audrey Hepburn is my alter ego. Is there a reason she didn't come on this date? Profiles are so public. You never know who's watching. I like to be mysterious. Jane wiggled her eyebrows in a way she imagined was sexy and mysterious. Visibility is kind of the point. So, I went to that exhibit you did, The Impressionist. So beautiful. It was like being in a dream. He cringed, tastefully. You're one of 10 people who saw that disaster, thank God. I didn't think it was that bad. Jane took a deep breath. Calm. You're in a safe place. She had prepared these thoughts on art and his exhibit to impress him. Now all the words felt jumbled. She found herself saying something a little too close to her truth. We all want to create our version of reality, but those artists, Monet, Renoir, actually achieved it. The more enthusiasm she forced into her voice, the more distressed her date appeared. The waiter brought their food. Both Jane and her date took advantage of the interpretation to withdraw into their wine glasses and regroup. They surveyed the 2 identical orders of California rolls, some kind of cooked meat wrapped in rice, covered in a sweet sauce that had been delivered to their table. Neither item was quite what Jane had imagined sushi to be, but she trusted his judgment. When she went on dates, she always deferred to her potential partner's expertise. So, how do you eat this? He looked at her with that mild amusement that made her feel small. However you like. But Japan is such a ritualized culture. Aren't there, rules? Her date poured soy sauce over his entire plate and stabbed the first roll with his fork. Jane considered the shiny silver chopsticks tucked beside her plate. She'd been looking forward to using them. Had assumed her date would know how.